Okay guys, let's get started on atomic basics. So this is a great sheet right before you take a quiz because it's going to review you over these things like finding protons, neutrons, and electrons over and over and over again. And hopefully you just won't even have a chance but to learn it. So let me get you started at the top, and I'll start you a little bit on the bottom, and I'll do a couple examples on the back. So at the top, maybe try to have a few colors. Let's see if we can differentiate between our protons, neutrons, and electrons with certain colors. So it says draw 5 protons. Well, we know protons and we know that neutrons are all in the nucleus of the atom, right? In that nucleus. So let's come on over, and it says to label them with their charge. So 5 protons. So instead of writing a P, you could do a P plus. I'm just going to do a plus sign. So for protons, I'm keeping them turquoise. I'm going to do 5 plus signs. There's my 5 protons. And then I need 6 neutrons, and they are neutral, so I'm just going to put an N. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 neutrons. So that's my nucleus. And then I'm going to pick green, do my electrons. It says 2 electrons in the first energy level. So we know this starts our first energy level. And electrons have a negative charge. And then in number 4, it wants 3 electrons in the second energy level. So that's going to go top, bottom, and right. And pop you a negative sign by each one of those. All right, so that's what our atom would look like. And then how do we know which element is represented though? So on my computer, I'm going to pop over to P table. And I'm going to look at the periodic table, and I'm going to try to think, okay, what was it in that element builder gizmo that told me what each element was going to be? If you changed what, you changed the element. That's right. If you changed the protons, you changed the element. So if we have 5 protons, that also makes me think of A equals P equals E. And if I have 5 protons, that's also my atomic number. So I need to look at the top of the box. So let's go look at the top boxes, and we want to find something with 5, and lucky for us, they're in order. So what does that mean our element's going to be when you find a 5 in the top of the box? Right, we are talking about boron. So to find which element it was, we counted the protons, right? And then we look at the top of the box. Okay, I'll leave this part for you guys to do. I know y'all can fill that in. So let's come down here to this box. So if we want to know protons, what's our trick for protons? A equals P equals E. And so the atomic number is the what? Number right here, the one on top of the box. And notice, if you don't know the atomic number, like for chlorine, what do you know? You know the number of protons, so they're protons, so they're just going to be the same. So you could go ahead and fill that in as a 17. How do we find neutrons? We say M minus A equals N. And then to find electrons, we say A equals P equals E. I'll help you with the first one, and after that, you're on your own to fill in the box. So if we're looking at lithium, our atomic number is 3. Well, if I know the 3, I also know the P and the E. So for protons, I have 3, and for electrons, I have 3. To find my neutrons, I'm going to say 7 minus 3 is how many? 4. Now, I would love to see you guys throw me a simple subtraction problem in there so that I can definitely understand that you are getting how to calculate neutrons. So there's your example on the front. Let's flip over, and I'll do a couple on the back for you. All right, so let's move on down to 14. Let's work on 14 together, and then the rest of 15 are the same. So we're talking about sulfur in this problem. And it wants to know protons, neutrons, electrons, and we're going to add a little section because, you know, we just can't be happy with our worksheets. So I want you guys to write in a line for valence, and I want you to do that on all of these at the bottom too. I'm not going to do them all in the video, but you guys go ahead and do that for all the rest of these at the bottom. all the way through silicone. Okay, so if we want to know protons we get from knowing ape. I know my atomic number is 16, so my protons are 16, so are my electrons. And just as a reminder, protons are positive and electrons are negative. How do I find my neutrons? M minus A is N. So my atomic, 32, I want to see these subtraction problems. 32 minus 16, well, that'd be 16. Not always that easy though, so pay attention. Okay, so however many electrons you had, that's how we're going to fill in our Bohr model. And notice it even tells you that this is what shows all of the electrons. We know we can put 2 in the first level. And I have 16 I'm working with, so we're going to have to do a lot of dots. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I've made 10 dots. I need to get to 16, so I have to move to another level. So that was 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So how many electrons do I have in just this outer level? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 6 valence electrons, and I'm also going to take that 6 over here and make my dot diagram, my Lewis dot diagram, and that's going to need to know just my valence. And also for valence, we're going to write underneath it outer. Those are just our outer electrons. So if I'm going to make 6, top, bottom, left, right gets me 4. And then we go top and clockwise should get me 6. Now if you put 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom, that is okay. Just get me 6 over there and have them evenly spaced out. So when we come this way and we fill out our Bohr model, we want the total number of electrons. When we come over here for our Lewis structure, we just want the outer electrons, which are the valence electrons. So you're going to repeat this for these 6 down here. And then you'll answer the questions in number 16. But I want you to highlight the 2, 3, and 4. We've not talked about this yet. You won't be tested on it. Not something that we do in 7th grade. We'll still talk about it a little bit. So you can see if you can find an answer to these. And if not, it'll be on your answers when you check them later. All right. Good luck, guys.